Why tenses confuse you in the beginning? In the initial days of learning English, almost everyone goes through the same silent struggle. A confusion that doesn't just stay in grammar books but enters your mind every time you try to speak. You listen to others speaking fluently, effortlessly expressing their thoughts. And when your turn comes, your confidence suddenly drops. You know the words, you understand the situation, but something feels off. Your mind starts racing. Should I say it in past tense or present tense? And in that moment of hesitation, you either say the wrong sentence or choose to stay quiet. That quietness slowly turns into self doubt. You begin to believe that maybe English is difficult, maybe you are not good at it. But the truth is far from that. This confusion is not a sign of weakness, it is simply a phase, a natural part of the learning journey that every fluent speaker has once experienced but eventually overcome. Hello everyone and welcome to Echo English, a place where learning English feels simple, natural and truly meaningful. If you have ever felt confused while speaking English, if you have ever hesitated searching for the right words, or if you have ever thought, why is this so difficult? You are not alone. And more importantly, you are in the right place. At Echo English, we don't just learn English, we understand it, we feel it, and we grow with it. This is not about memorizing complicated rules or feeling stressed about grammar. This is about building confidence one step at a time. Here, mistakes are not failures, they are signs that you are learning, improving, and moving forward. Think of this channel as your safe place, a place where you can listen, learn, and slowly transform the way you speak and express yourself. Because English is not just a language, it is a tool that can open doors, build connections, and change your life. So, take a deep breath, relax your mind, and enjoy the journey. Because from today, you are not just learning English, you are becoming confident in it. Welcome to Echo English. How to master present tense? The real reason behind confusion, the real problem is not that you don't know tenses, the real problem is that you try to think too much while speaking. Instead of expressing your thoughts naturally, you start translating every sentence from your native language into English. Your brain becomes a translator instead of a communicator. And translation takes time, effort, and often leads to mistakes. In your native language, you don't think about grammar rules, you just speak. But in English, you suddenly become conscious of every word, every tense, every structure. This overthinking creates pressure, and under pressure, your mind chooses the wrong tense. For example, when you want to describe something you do regularly, your mind accidentally pulls a past form because it is trying to calculate instead of express. So you say, I went to school every day when you actually mean I go to school every day. This is not because you don't know the correct form, it is because your brain is overloaded with rules instead of being trained with uses. Understanding present tense in a natural way. To truly understand present tense, you don't need complicated definitions or heavy grammar explanations. You need a simple, clear feeling of when it is used. Present tense is the language of your everyday life. It is the way you describe what you do regularly, what is true in your life, and what is happening around you right now. It is used when you talk about your habits, your routines, your daily actions, and general facts. When you say, I wake up early, I drink tea, I go to college, you are not talking about yesterday or tomorrow. You are talking about a pattern, a repetition, something that is part of your life. That is present tense. When you say the sun rises in the east or I like music, you are expressing facts and truths. The mistake learners make is that they try to memorize rules instead of connecting the tense with real life situations. Once you start seeing present tense as a reflection of your daily life rather than a grammar rule, it becomes simple, natural, and automatic. The most powerful practice your daily routine. If there is one method that can completely transform your understanding of present tense, it is this. Talk about your daily routine again and again until it becomes effortless. Your daily routine is your strongest tool because it already exists in your mind. You don't need imagination, you don't need new ideas, you just need expression. Start from the moment you wake up and go step by step through your day. Say, I wake up at 6 a.m., I brush my teeth, I take a bath, I eat breakfast, I go to school. I attend classes, I come back home, I watch videos, I study, I sleep. At first, it may feel repetitive, even boring, but this repetition is exactly what trains your brain. Every time you repeat these sentences, your brain starts recognizing patterns slowly without even realizing it. Your brain stops translating and starts responding directly in English. This is how fluency begins, not with complexity but with consistency in simple things. The golden rule of learning. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is chasing perfection from the very beginning. They wait to speak until they feel ready, until they think they can form perfect sentences without mistakes. But that moment never comes. Fluency is not built on perfection, it is built on courage and consistency. If you keep waiting to be perfect, you will keep delaying your progress. Instead, you must accept mistakes as a necessary part of growth. Every wrong sentence you speak is actually a step closer to the right one. The real enemy is not incorrect grammar, it is silence. Because when you stay silent, your brain doesn't get the chance to learn, to adapt, to improve. But when you speak, even imperfectly, your mind becomes active, alert, and responsive. Over time, it starts correcting itself automatically. So instead of asking, am I speaking correctly? Start asking, am I speaking regularly? Because consistency will bring correctness naturally. A simple and life changing exercise. There is a simple practice that can create a powerful shift in your English speaking ability, and that is speaking to yourself daily. Stand in front of a mirror and describe your entire day in English, from morning to night, without stopping. Don't worry about grammar mistakes, don't search for difficult words, and don't switch back to your native language. Use whatever English you know and keep going. At first, you may struggle, you may pause, you may feel uncomfortable, but that discomfort is a sign that you are growing. This exercise forces your brain to think in English instead of translating. It builds confidence, improves sentence formation, and strengthens your understanding of present tense in a very natural way. If you do this consistently, even for just 5 to 10 minutes every day, you will start noticing a change, not just in your grammar, but in your confidence and clarity. So now think about this deeply. You already know your daily routine. You already know basic English words and you already understand what you want to say. Then what is really stopping you from speaking correctly? Is it a lack of knowledge or is it the fear of making mistakes and being judged? And if that fear disappears, how different would your English become? If you truly want to improve your English step by step, not just in theory but in real life, then stay connected with Echo English, because here you are not just learning a language, you are building the confidence to express yourself without fear.